Have you ever walked out of a mall into a huge parking area and realized you'd forgotten where you parked your car? Ever gone mountain biking?
Ever seen a grown man naked?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Do you believe in life after love?
Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own?
Have you hailed Satan this morning?
Have you called a plumber to your home lately?
Ever have an overweight pet?
Do you have a sweet tooth?
Ever tear your butthole open? Like my man Jonathan Frakes, I've spent a good portion of my career separating fact from fiction. So, as you can imagine, I'm not the biggest fan of conspiracy theories. Flat Earth, lizard people, chemtrails, I'm just not into it. That being said, we all know that Epstein is chilling with Elvis and Tupac at Area 51, working with the Heart Project to turn the frogs gay. But I'm talking about theories today, not true facts. Growing up, I was a pretty big Marilyn Manson fan, but I felt like I couldn't talk about it because my fellow 7th graders would say, "Dude, you know he had his ribs removed so he could blow himself, right?" Or, "How can you like someone who sacrifices animals at his concerts?" And that stuff made me distance myself from Marilyn Manson because what if they were right? I can't support someone who harms animals. But I later found out that Marilyn Manson wasn't the only musician rumored to have done that. People had also spread rumors that Ozzy Osbourne tossed dogs and cats into his crowd and wouldn't play another song until the crowd killed them. But in Ozzy's case, animal abuse rumors weren't entirely unfounded. He did bite the head off 2 doves during a record label meeting with CBS and bit the head off a bat on stage. The bat was an accident, though.
He thought it was a rubber bat, whatever, and he picked it up and bit the head off.
And Sean's going, "Dummy, it's real." I'm going, what?
Those instances are pretty well documented, but rumors of animal sacrifice with Ozzy Osbourne, they continue today. When the news of coronavirus started spreading, I heard, personally, no less than 3 people say, "Doesn't Ozzy Osbourne bite the head off a bat before every show?" Dude, according to Setlist FM, Ozzy has played at least 1,490 solo shows, and probably another 1,000 Black Sabbath shows. You think Ozzy has his own bat cave in Beverly Hills? And after the one bat biting incident, Ozzy had to go straight to the hospital for a series of rabies shots.
Live! Damn it, live!
Ozzy's put a lot of chemicals in his system over the years, but he's not banging the rabies vaccine every single night. But of course, rock and metal conspiracy theories don't end there. A lot of them have to do with Satan. For decades, people have claimed that KISS stands for Knights in Satan's Service, not true, and that Robert Johnson and Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page sold their souls to the devil in exchange for godlike chops on guitar. Probably not true. But there is a great and lesser-known conspiracy theory about Jimmy Page, and it's that he put a curse on a band called Eddie and the Hot Rods. Apparently, it was in response to the band's cover art for Do Anything You Want to Do, which featured famous occultist Aleister Crowley in Mickey Mouse ears. The song was also inspired by the Crowley quote, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law."
Do anything you wanna do!
According to the conspiracy, Jimmy Page, a renowned Crowley enthusiast, was angered by them insulting Crowley, so he put a curse on them. Now, Eddie and the Hot Rods did experience a weird string of bad luck after this. But, according to Led Zeppelin biographer Mick Wall, he says the curse story is nonsense. But who knows for real? One of the most famous conspiracy theories to come out of the satanic panic of the 1980s had to do with bands hiding backwards messages in their music to brainwash the listeners. This satanic backmasking thing seems to have been inspired by this scene in The Exorcist.
That's English in reverse. Listen.
Give us time! Let her die!
Religious groups freaked out over supposed backmasking in Led Zeppelin and Queen albums.
And I've reverse thread the machine, and I'm going to play that exact piece of tape backwards now. Okay, just
prove that you've not doctored
I
it
have
in
not
any
doctored it in any way. All right, let's go ahead and start. Okay, I live with Satan, exactly. And then you'll hear there's power in Satan.
Who's there? Who's power in Satan? He will give you 666.
music?
Yeah.
While Judas Priest were actually taken to court after a fan's suicide. Prosecutors argued that the subliminal message, "Do It," was placed in the song Better by You, Better Than Me. While on the stand, Rob Halford argued the absurdity of the case by showing the judge other subliminal messages that could be found in Judas Priest's music.
What we'll hear first is I asked for a peppermint, I asked for her to get one. His eyes lit up. It was as though suddenly he realised how ridiculous this whole thing was.
In the end, Priest were not found to be liable for the fan's death, and a similar trial took place with Ozzy Osbourne and the song Suicide Solution. So, the subliminal messaging allegations turned out to be sort of a conspiracy about a conspiracy. Inceptspiracy.
Inceptspiracy.
And you can see how sometimes the need to believe in a conspiracy theory doesn't just make you look stupid, it can actually harm the musicians you're accusing. And of course, bands like Slayer and Venom, for shits and giggles, hid backwards satanic messages in their music, but to be fair, you can hear way more satanic messaging if you play that song forwards.
Listen to heavy metal music. The devil will make you kill your mom.
No, Black Sabbath didn't put a real witch on the cover of their debut album, and it's also not Ozzy Osbourne in drag. No, Marilyn Manson isn't the kid from the Wonder Years. No, Nikki Sixx wasn't replaced in Motley Crue by a doppelganger. And no, Stephen King did not kill John Lennon. Yeah, that's a real one. But, in the sake of fairness, some conspiracies, albeit very few of them, do end up being correct. For writing anti-war songs and meeting with anti-war activists, John Lennon was placed under surveillance by the FBI, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service even tried to deport him. And in 2010, the CIA publicly released documents which showed that, fearing he would disrupt the 1972 Republican National Convention, the CIA under the Nixon administration joined the FBI in gathering intelligence on the Beatles icon. So to sum things up, I think it's important to keep an inquisitive mind, and hopefully we can all agree that believing everyone's out to get you isn't all that much better than just blindly believing everything you hear. Plus, conspiracy theories may be bullshit most of the time, but at least they've given us some killer heavy metal anthems. So keep your bullshit meter on high alert. And be sure to keep some tinfoil handy, because when the aliens come, I'll be damned if they're getting my Netflix password.